What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel, and today I'm bringing you episode 2 of What's on the Pegs. You guys seem to enjoy this a lot. Got a lot of good feedback on it, so I'm glad. And it's going to be a lot of fun, as every week I'm hitting a lot of different stores. I hit stores today. I hit some stores yesterday. And, it just kind of depends on what I'm looking for, right? And today we're going to have a lot of cool stuff to dive into, including a new line that I'm diving into, a chase that I found, which is always kind of fun. And we're going to talk all about it. So, let me know what you guys think. I try to cover as many different toys as I can, but that's the beauty of a show like this, is it's all over the board, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Of course, we start off with Biker Mice from Mars. Saw these at Walmart, of course. Biker Mice from Mars, I remember being a kind of a hit in the 90s. I say kind of a hit because I don't remember it being a huge hit. But this is also coming on the cuff of Ninja Turtles being wildly popular. So it's almost like, hey, we have to think of the next cool big thing, right? And hey, these turtles that are karate masters are perfect. And so I know Biker Mice from Mars had a line, I believe, from Galoob. And if you look at the nacelle logo, it looks like the old Galoob logo, which is kind of fun. But I know those three main characters set on the pegs at Walmart. In fact, they're still there for a very long time. I do know they have more figures coming, which is good. And then, of course, now the motorcycles. But, man, if you're looking at a $30 figure and a $40 motorcycle, it's not the cheapest investment. So, I don't know. Not for me, but I do think they're cool. It's kind of fun to see them. But and like I said, I like seeing stuff that's, old school but new on the pegs. It just probably not for me here. These two, I purchased both of these, but not on this occasion. It was just interesting to still see them on the pegs. Green Lantern and Captain Cold. The McFarlane, easy for me to say, the McFarlane Collector's Edition line. What's funny is when this line kind of first launched, I was like adamantly against it because I'm like, why are these so much more expensive? They have no reason to be so much more expensive, and they really don't. But Captain Cold is a fun character. I like this version of Green Lantern. Simon Baz, I've actually read a few of the books that he's in, and it's cool. It's just one of those things where, is it worth the extra $10 or $8, whatever it is now? Probably not, but that's where you have to vote with your wallet and pick up the stuff you enjoy. That's what I always say, find your joy. If they're not for you, I get it. Me personally, I did buy both of these because I thought they were really cool. These also have the new face plates. What do you guys think about that? Instead of a new head, it's like a face plate. I don't know. A little different, but not the worst thing in the world. The Simpsons. I was excited to see Moe and Krusty on the pegs because I know these are both from Wave 2, and a lot of people have had trouble finding Wave 3, Wave 2, and then now Wave 4. So it was cool to see these. Like, hey, so Moe was in the very back. I actually dug him out and put him on the front just so that, hopefully it sells. And then we can get some more of these on the pegs. Because unfortunately, Series 1 is just clogging the pegs at Walmart, which is where I saw these. And it seems like that's kind of what's happening with a lot of these. They're great. They're just a little hard to find. I picked these up a long time ago on the Target app. So it was cool to have them, but again, it's like, geez, let's get these out front a little bit more. And then oddly enough, I'm at a Target and I saw a Marge with Maggie. Luckily, good friend Travis Fowler sent me a Marge a while back, so I didn't have to worry about it. But just one of those things. Like, it's always nice to find it for yourself and be like, okay, I can still go to the stores. I can still find this stuff if I actually hunt it down. It's just it's not always the easiest thing in the world, as we know. New World Order. Really cool 3-pack. Of course, you got Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. This is like their look from No Way Out 2002, when they all came back to the WWE after many years. I think Hogan was last there in 1993, so it'd been a while. And, of course, Hall and Nash were both there in 1996. But they're back, and it's 2002. Of course, this didn't quite go as we all had thought it was going to go, but still a pretty cool look. I like Hogan's jacket. It's kind of a moment in time. $70 price point. A lot of people, I think, balk at that because it's like, okay, wait a minute. These retail for about $23, so why are they $70? Or even if it does equal out, you would think maybe because it's a 3-pack, you could get a little cheaper as opposed to full retail, but it is what it is. I do know these clearance usually. This is one of the few things Walmart exclusively always stocks is the 3-packs. Those are usually very easy to find, but $70 is a bit much at times. Some interesting new Transformers. I like these retro carded ones. We, of course, have Gears and Bumblebee. I have not bought either of these. I'm kind of hot and cold on Transformers. A lot of them are cool, but it's just not ones I always pick up. Of course, you got an Optimus Prime there, which is kind of a classic. And there's so many different, like, series of Transformers. I know they have different classes and stuff, but sometimes it's a little confusing to collect. But I thought both of these were cool. And then, of course, you got Jazz and Optimus Prime, like I mentioned, Waspinator, and a few others. They're cool. It just, like I said, I do go a little hot and cold with them sometimes. Whiplash from the Iron Man retro carded wave. I think this figure's fantastic. And for Marvel Legends, I'm exclusively all about the comic-inspired ones, more so than the movie-inspired versions. And so I do plan to get this. I just haven't yet, and it's still just sitting there warming the pegs. It's not a bad figure. It's just maybe a character most people don't quite remember, so they don't feel the need to get it. Could be wrong, though, but it does look cool. I do need to pick it up at some point. Jedi Master, what was it, Kel Naka? I don't do a lot of Star Wars Black. I did for a little bit. I got into Star Wars for the first time ever. I was collecting them. And I was like, man, these are really cool figures. Of course, I had the Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, C-3PO. I did not know. I have no idea who Jedi Master Kel Naka is. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Of course, he looks like he's from the new show, The Acolyte. Cool figure. I think it's like a $35 one, so I don't know. Like, again, it's cool. Is it that cool? It's hard to say. I think with any type of collecting or collectible, you have to kind of just choose what hits you in that moment. Like, if it's something you enjoy, for sure. But everything else, I don't know. It's hard to say. This was an interesting find here on the pegs. I've seen these before, of course, but this is the new, not new, it's a retro-style Ninja Turtles wave. This is based on the 2012 cartoon, which doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but realistically, it was like over 10 years ago, right? I remember when these launched, I was like adamantly against it because I just did not like how they looked. But being an old school Turtle fan, and I'm sure most of you watching this are old school Turtle fans, you could probably agree. It's like, that's the only thing that I care about is the classic look of the characters. And so this new stuff just doesn't really hit for me. Even the Tales of the Ninja Turtles, the new cartoon movie, doesn't really hit for me. These are fun. I think it's, if you grew up with that cartoon, it'd be cool to get these, or if, you have some nostalgia for it, it'd be cool to get these. But for me, I can't say it's necessarily for me. I do have a few of these, but they're definitely not my favorite. They are cool, but they're not my favorite. This is a fun find, the Savage Land Professor X, which was over at Target. There's actually a couple there on the pegs. I didn't buy it. It's cool, but I remember always being very confused as a kid. Like, wait a minute, I thought he was in a wheelchair. How is he walking? Of course, I guess that was the power of the Savage Land, right? Definitely a cool figure. I do have a Professor X, the classic look in the wheelchair, so that's really more the Professor X I need. Although this is cool and a fun addition if you don't have it in your Marvel Legends, of course. But I'm looking here, it doesn't really say, does it say Marvel Legends on it anywhere? It says Marvel Comics, The Uncanny X-Men, Professor X Savage Land. It doesn't say Marvel Legends. That might be interesting. Maybe they're moving away from that name. I don't know. Oh, this is one I've been waiting for. A Chase Was Found. I have been wanting this Year 2 Batman for a very long time. In fact, the last video, I forgot to take a picture of it, but they had a Year 2 Batman there, but not the Platinum Edition, which the Platinum Edition is a little bit more blue colored, where the regular is a little bit more black colored. I just love the blue and the gray. I think that pops really well, and that's kind of like the classic look of Batman. I'm like, oh, that's freaking awesome. A local toy shop had it, but it was like $50 for the Platinum. I'm like, ugh, it's a little too much for me. So found this at Target, picked it up, and was so happy to add it to the collection. So definitely fun to get a Platinum at retail for retail price, of course. That's the thrill of the hunt, right? I also saw these. I did pick up Lex Luthor here, the Super Friends figures. I was pretty adamant against the retro collection from McFarlane, just being like, I don't need these. I don't like these. Like, they don't do anything for me. I don't need them, blah, 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 blah. And this is when they did Batman 66, and they ventured off to like the New Adventures of Batman and a few others. But something about the Super Friends got me. When I saw like Sinestro and Lex Luthor and the Riddler and stuff, I'm like, man, I do kind of want these. Because this is that classic look. And then I love the carding, how it has that distress look to it. That was a really nice touch, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to grab these. So I have Lex Luthor. I also picked up Batman, not at Target. I found him on Big Bad Toy Store, put him in my pile of loot, because I thought Batman would be a one that would get away quickly, so I do have that as well. Still trying to, like I said, I passed on Sinestro for the time being, but I'm going to eventually pick up him and Green Lantern, and hopefully I can find the Riddler, which is a Platinum as well, and the Universe of Evil Batman, another Platinum, so wish me luck on that one. The Street Sharks. These don't seem to be the most popular thing in the world, but I love the Street Sharks. I've unboxed one on the channel. It was a while back. I have another one I haven't unboxed yet, so that'll be hopefully coming up soon. I still have one more I need to get, Dr. Pyranoid, whatever. Hopefully there's still going to be a third wave. I do know at SDCC they showed some figures, so hopefully it's still happening. We'll see what happens, though. But yeah, love the Street Sharks. It's just kind of a shame they never really took off this time around like they did before. And then Two-Face. Saw this one today, actually. Love this Two-Face. I already have it. I ordered on the McFarlane website just because I was hoping I would be able to get it, and I was glad I did because it's such a great figure. That classic version of Two-Face, I've been waiting on this one pretty much since the McFarlane line was announced. And then The Godfather. Everybody climb aboard. I'm not going to say it. But the only legend I saw today, this new legend wave was supposed to hit yesterday, which included The Godfather, Kurt Angle, Carlito, and Rosie. And the only one I saw was The Godfather, but that's all right. I did pick him up. I like the color of this. I like the yellow pants, kind of the the purplish pink vest, the hat. I mean, classic version of The Godfather. And I don't own a Godfather, so it was a welcome addition to the collection. And, you know, I love going to vintage toy shops, and I had to take a picture of this BP Richfield from the Dinosaurs cartoon. Not cartoon, it was live action, but the Dinosaurs show from back in the 90s. I don't know why, but I had this as a kid. I wanted it, and I could not tell you why. It was just like, oh, I want the mean boss of Earls. As you can see, he's got it marked $44.99, so it's not the cheapest figure in the world, but I just was like, wow, I had that as a kid. That's so hilarious, so I had to pick it up. And then if we're talking classic old school toys, how about the original Spawn, the worm-headed Spawn, I believe is what he's called, or the hamburger head or something. This was him without his mask, of course. $20, not a bad deal for the classic figure. Comes with a comic book, and these are when they were still called Todd toys, which I thought was kind of fun. So had to get a picture of that as well. But that's all I got this week for What's on the Pegs. That's what I was finding. What are you finding? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe. And make sure to check out my other unboxing videos. I got unboxing videos. I have Tales of the Toy Box, a new show that drops probably once a month. One episode is already up, all about G.I. Joe Street Fighter. And like I said, new unboxing videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Plus, of course, the podcast drops every Thursday, so check that out as well. Lots of content in the world of the TB Toycast. But that's all for this edition of What's on the Pegs. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.